Hey guys, so I wanted to take a second just because of some stuff that that recently came out. As you can see, I'm in the construction site, just working on some stuff, and I had to take a second because of some things that are going on. So I'm going to title this "Why Trump is Smarter Than You," and it's not for everyone, and I really don't care if it offends someone, but you've got this mainstream agenda, this control mechanism that's brought about by old money, and basically every problem that we can see in the world today is tied directly to a corporation, a defense contractor, or a bank, and they're all meeting in Virginia. Otherwise known as the Bilderberg Group. And if you think I'm a conspiracy theorist, then you're not paying attention and you don't know what the definition of conspiracy or theory is. Basically, what I'd like to do is point out some facts. Number one, I have seen a quote of Trump saying that he doesn't think that climate change is necessarily correlated with carbon, that he thinks it's more the sun that's causing the changes in our weather patterns and the temperature of the planet. Number two, he backed out of the agreement, the treaty or whatever, because it wasn't a treaty. It didn't go to Congress. It didn't go to the Senate. So, Obama's pushing this thing through on the carbon tax. And the voluntary carbon credit market is a machine to make money for the same individuals that that are screwing things up anyway. And then you look at companies like, there's a video of an interview with Leonardo DiCaprio and Elon Musk that literally points the way to what it is that's behind this whole carbon credit thing. And, Musk is all behind it because it means money for free from governments for his company, which is Tesla. Now, I like Tesla, the name. I don't like that Elon Musk is using the name Tesla, but I like Tesla cars. They're cool and whatnot. But he's still using lithium-ion batteries, which have a limitation. He's not experimenting into carbon, which is like, let's use the carbon. There's lots of carbon. There's lots of coal and different things, and you can convert that into graphite and use graphite batteries and graphene batteries and things like that are far less volatile than lithium. Lithium's fairly plentiful, but not as plentiful as carbon. Now, the other side of it is the lies that have been promoted and pushed into the mainstream media regarding the temperature on the planet is not science. There's no science behind it. It's just propaganda, which by definition is opinions pushed into the mainstream, pushed into the public on a political agenda. So they're pushing all this BS on you, calling it truth, and it's a political agenda. So this is why Trump is, and I'm not a big Trump fan, but I mean, I like a couple of the things that he's doing, and this is one. He's showing, like, you see that he's like cutting all these things with the EPA. It's not that he's going to make the EPA less effective. He's going to take the criminals, he's going to take the leverage that the criminals in the EPA have away from them so that the EPA can function in its role, which is to protect the environment. Now, I'm not pro, let's just dump all the garbage in the environment for us to breathe, and I don't like them spraying the skies. And if you don't think that they're doing chemtrails, then you haven't seen the Harvard story look at The Guardian, check out, type in Guardian, Harvard, chemtrails, or geoengineering. Look it up for yourself. They're spraying aerosol, high altitude aerosol spraying to try to create the effect of a volcanic eruption, which is like the reduction of what's called the albedo, which is the reflective quality of the planet, how bright it is or how much light that it actually reflects off of it. And the albedo of Earth is supposed to be standard at 0.39, and they're trying to jack with that. And what happens when we jack with the ecosystem? it's lack of foresight. We're going to damage something, we're going to harm ourselves, and look at the Matrix. We do know it was us that scorched the sky. Okay, well, do you want to let them do that? And if you want to see the powers that be, and how they think, then look at the video that the crazy woman did, holding a bloody head that looks like Trump. They want to cut his head off. They want to take him out of the picture because he's actually effectively changing the things that they've been implementing for years, for decades, that make us more slaves, less sovereign, less free, and they've got the people that are in the mainstream. They're getting paid by these big bankers and all the people that have money, and their agenda is not to protect and serve you. So things are going to crash. There are going to be some growing pains, let's call it that. And I told you before that Bitcoin's going to go up. You should buy it. I told you when it was $250. Now it's $2,500. It's going to go up again. And I told you it's probably going to be $5,000 by the end of July. And it's probably going to be over $10,000 come the first of the year. And it may take till February, but it's going to be right in there, over $10,000 come the first of the year. Now that's 5x. You guys need to pay attention, because if you have all your money in a bank, or you have all your assets in one basket, and then somebody else has control and they've proven themselves to be criminals in the past, you're going to lose everything that you have, and you're only going to get an insincere apology. And the federal deficit, the FDIC, is not insured. They're over $6 trillion overextended. Over $6 trillion overextended. Okay, so you have all these different things. So this is why Trump is smarter than you. So he sees through the BS because he's been in the upper echelons of business, and he's seen the way that the bankers work, and he knows some of the big guys. He's been able to use the corrupt system to put himself into a high position. The guy's a billionaire, all right? So are you a billionaire? Okay, he's smarter than you as far as that goes. Number two, he saw through the BS on the carbon credit market. And who was behind that? Al Gore? Do you trust Al Gore? He never even got elected. How did he get into position? Well, he was under Clinton. Do you trust Clinton? Well, look at what she did. Look at what Bill did. You've got behind Clinton, you've got the privatization of the prison system, which is have you seen what they're doing to the people? They target the African American public and put them in a slave trade system so that they work for pennies an hour and are incarcerated for stupid things like having a plant that's now illegal, or just ridiculous things because it's a crime not to have money, and it's just ridiculously manipulated, and they don't care. These people, these individuals that are heads of these big companies and manipulating our system and our government, it's been going on since J.P. Morgan back in the early 1900s. So these are the reasons why I think Trump is smarter than you, and you should pay attention for yourself and get facts from multiple different sources that are not biased by the big money that's been manipulating your life. So don't buy the BS. Look for yourself. Look at why. Go to Suspicious Observers on YouTube and see how the sun is affecting the earth, and how weather is actually being manipulated by the fact we're going into a grand solar minimum. And they would tell you that the planet's getting hotter when it's actually we're going into an ice age. So they want you to prepare for heat. And in the meantime, all around the world, you're seeing snow, you're seeing frost killing crops worldwide, and you think it's getting hotter. So be as smart as you are. Don't listen to the hype and BS and propaganda of these manipulative individuals that are taking away your life and your freedom. You are better than that. So be who you are, be better, and thanks for watching.